true. The plan for our lives is the plan because it's the best plan for our lives. If there were a better plan for us, that would be the plan for our life. Our guides are forever encouraging us to live our plan A of the moment. You see, there's always a plan A for right now. For right now, there's a plan A. Always, in every moment. And our guides are 100% of the time focused on helping us live our plan A of the moment. They don't have an axe to grind. They don't have any other reason for telling us what to do other than that this is what will bring us joy most directly. Sometimes the things they say sound crazy. Surely that can't be what I'm supposed to do. I must be hearing that wrong. You see? And so this is how fear enters the equation, and that's okay. It's okay. We just acknowledge that. This is the incarnating condition. Yes? So our guides aren't tricking us. They aren't manipulating us. They're telling us what will help us get to joy fastest. Now, we all have different plans, you see. Every single one of us listening to this at any point in time has our own individual plan. Every person on earth has their own plan. Every sentient being throughout the universe has their own individual plan. The divine plan is the amalgam of all those plans. It's like weaving all those plans together into a oneness that works. When we each live our own individual soul plan, all the problems in the world, and in fact in the universe, resolve. Wiser minds than ours have already figured this out. We don't have to figure out what needs to be done in the grand scheme of things. All we need to do is live our own soul plan, each of us. And by each of us living our own soul plan, which is what will bring us most directly to joy, the world transforms. The universe transforms. Does this make sense? So we can let go of worrying how it's going to turn out and just follow our guides. And then life becomes simple. So, very quickly, quick review. It says, quick review so that I remember. Don't get bogged down in this. Don't get bogged down. Okay, so what's the goal in this method? What we're doing right now is reviewing the bookends, level 1 and level 4. What's the goal in this method? Anybody? Shout it out. That's right. Bring people into alignment with their soul plans. Exactly. The goal with this method is to bring people into alignment with their soul plans so they can live the lives they came here to live, be who they came here to be. When we do that, disharmonies resolve, dis-eases resolve, because very, very few of us actually intend to be suffering. We intend to have the challenge. You see, we intend to have it flare. We intend to have it occur, and then we intend to rise above it, to move through it, to heal it, to be the victors over the life circumstance. Yes? And so when we're suffering, and see, friends, I was sick for 7 years. I was badly sick, disabled for 2. So I'm not looking down my nose at people who are suffering. I'm saying, look, I know how it is to do that. And now here's how we can get out of that. So what am I supposed to be doing in the healing sessions? It's real simple. Create sacred space. Listen up, follow directions. Put a sacred seal on it. The opening process creates a sacred space. The closing process puts the seal on it. In between, we listen up and follow directions. So the opening process, we have to change the acronym. We change the acronym to AMCAT. Which, doesn't that sound like a transportation system? So it's like a multi-dimensional transportation system. Step into AMCAT, put on your seatbelts, and here we go. Take off, take off. So we align our own energy first and foremost, align our own energy first. Then we merge, becoming one with the other person. Dissolving softening our fields so we're not slamming into them, we've already aligned. We're already letting source energy flow through. We merge. Then we ask for help. All the level 1, level 2, and higher level techniques are this ask. I missed something. They said, you missed something. Channels up. Channels up. We align, merge, channels up. Channels up. And then we ask, thank you. Then we ask, and then we trust. You see? We trust because sometimes the things they're saying sound unlikely, right? And then we also have to get that sometimes, you see, the person has to do their part, and they may or may not. They may or may not. And that's not for us to decide. This is a free will universe we can't impose. That makes sense? So, we teach these techniques, and we already said this, but this bears repeating, important points bear repeating. We teach the techniques so that when they're suggested by the guides, we can recognize what's happening and implement them as vessels. We're not teaching them so that we have this toolkit where we're just deciding what to do. That's the antithesis of this method. And it looks an awful lot like it, you see? If we don't have the alignment, we can fall into that near enemy. And the people who... There are people, you know, who say that they're doing this work, but they aren't. They aren't. What they're doing is that near enemy of it. They don't have the alignment. They don't have the access. They're not listening to the guides. They've got the toolkit. And they're working away with the toolkit, trying to help. You see, these are good people, trying to help. But they don't have the alignment. It's not what's really going, that's not what's really going on, you see. So we acknowledge that this can happen, and it can happen at any stage of the game. Like sometimes people say, oh, I'm just going to do the work, I don't want to get certified. What that usually means is, I don't want anybody to tell me what I need to change, and so I'm not going to submit any case studies, and that way I won't get any input, and nobody will tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I can pretend that I'm doing it right and be happy. And it's okay, you see, it's okay. But we have to acknowledge what's going on. It's just fear, it's okay. So, which segues right into this, how is this different from giving an intuitive reading or leading a guided meditation? That is the difference, friends, the access. The thing is, if you actually talk to people in the shamanic healing traditions, for example, which are powerful and have been around for 40,000 years, a time-honored tradition, very effective and powerful healing tradition, they say you can't get through the astral planes into the higher dimensions, so you just work with what's here. You work with the power animals, you work with what's here, you see? But the fact is we can. We can. You see, I would have believed that if I didn't know better. And so, friends, who has experience being in the higher dimensions? Yeah. And so we know that it can be done. We know that it can be done. You see? So now how to do it consistently. How to do it consistently, you see? How to do it when needed and not just as a gift of grace. So that's the difference, is we actually learn how to be portals from the higher dimensions. Let the guides and angels work through us. Let the light beings work through us. How is it different from affirmative prayer? Affirmative prayer has that portal going. It does. This is affirmative prayer on steroids because we add in the energetic support and the intuitive awareness, you see, and we pull in the power of the future. We pull in the power of the future. Am I making this up? Who's ever had that thought? I'm thinking all the hands go up on that one. We notice the surprises. Notice the things that aren't as we expect. You see, inside the session, often we're thinking, maybe it's only me. I'm thinking it's going in this direction, and whoop, it is not. We're heading in another direction. I didn't make that up. I would make up that I was always right. So, so that I didn't make up. And then when we look at the lives transforming, you see, that's the proof. Is it working? Is it working? Everything else could be delusion. You see, everything else could be delusion. Is it working? What's happening on the ground in the 3D experience? Does that make sense? That's the gift of the body. Having a body it shows us what our vibrations are. It shows us exactly what's up with our lives in every moment. And if we see, that's the gift. It's showing us what we need to learn, what, like the lessons of the day are presented to us through our lives. Yes? Is this too heavy? Is this okay? Okay, good. I love it, but I just can't tell. I don't relate to life like people do. So you have to let me know if I'm just getting a little too out there. Say, whoa, Nellie, come on back. Okay, so why don't I get the guide's suggestions of what to do? Okay, wrong word, instructions of what to do. Why don't I get the instructions? Could be a lot of different things. First things first, it could be the field is fogged. And so we remember in healing sessions, energy is releasing, it builds up. And so it's very helpful to enlist outside help to clear the energy. I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of sprays. As you know, we're supposed to have some here for sale, and they're supposed to be out, but that's okay. We can do that. So sprays work really, really well. Sprays work well. I'm a big fan of them. And we don't make the sprays that we sell. We don't make any money on them. We cover our shipping costs if I remember to price it correctly. And if I don't, then we don't cover our shipping costs, and that's our gift to you. But it helps. You see, we provide what helps. So if your field is fogged or your alignment is off, we've lost the merge, we've lost our upward rising energy, our channels have fallen down because the person is talking and we're putting our focus on them, which happens, you see. And we want them to talk, but then after they talk, we have to get our channels back up, get our alignment going again, flush our field, and move forward. Yes? Or sometimes our intention is wrong. The starting point for the session is off, and then nothing goes right. They might have back pain is a common pattern in our society, right? Back pain, lots of people have back pain. And so they come in and they say, I want my back pain to go away. And so we forget to help them rephrase this in a way that will work. And we're just trying to get their back pain to go away, which is manipulating energy, you see. The guides and angels don't have an interest in manipulating energy. They have an interest in helping the person live his or her soul plan. That back pain is telling us something is off in the soul plan, you see. And so we say, okay, let's heal what this back pain represents. Let's get out the roots, the underlying issues of the back pain. Then we're coming at it effectively. The guides and angels are all over this one. Yes, let's get what this represents. Boom! The back pain is gone because the guides and angels are into it. Does that make sense? So, that could very well be it, the intention. Traps to avoid. When we've been working with energy for a long time, we just have habits. It's like cellular memory. Our energy bodies have habits, and we just will continually go into this old alignment, which is, every healing modality has its place. Everything helps. I'm not bashing anything or anyone, right? But we have to acknowledge that all the other healing modalities that we've been exposed to, and we've had hundreds of students come through representing all the other healing modalities, and so far everybody has the same alignment. So far everybody has the same alignment. I don't think there's not any healing art that I know of that we haven't had students come from, and they all have the same alignment. Their intuition is onto the person, usually onto the person's body, physical body, and not up to the guides at all. And they're trying to hold themselves separate so as to not be contaminated. It's even talked of as if it's a good thing to try and keep a barrier between yourself and your healing subject. So here we don't do that. We don't pretend that there are more than one of us here. We acknowledge the truth. There's only one of us here. We merge in fully, like embracing it. We know that their pain either will pass through us because there's nothing in us like that, or it'll let us know where we have the identical issue so that we can both be healed at once. And isn't that a beautiful gift? Channels up a completely different alignment. So if you're already comfortable with energy, the trap is falling into the old pattern, forgetting the new pattern. If you're new to energy work, the trap is thinking, I can't do this. And so the I can't do this thinking can make it so for you, because if you believe you can't do it, guess what you just proved right? But you can also let that go. Totally you can do this. Kids can do this. Kids do this. Kids do this. What if I only want to work on myself? You can do that. That's the slow, painful way. It takes 50 times longer to heal ourselves when we're just focusing on ourselves. Can I do